Well, welcome back. I'm Ted Thomas, and I've been involved in a home-based business for over 30 years. As you already know, we live in the land of opportunity, and I'm going to show you another opportunity in the next couple of minutes. Now, all of the optimistic people are surrounding me because I get around optimistic people, and they're excited about what they're going to do next. So I'm going to show you something to do next where you can make a lot of money. Now, all of the entrepreneurs that I know, they're full of energy. They're ready to take on the world. They're not satisfied with working 40 hours a week. Now, if that's you, what's probably going on is you have a radar in your head which is constantly searching for more opportunity and more money, probably more money than anything else. Okay, so in today's episode, I'm going to discuss how to make a side hustle. I'm going to show you how to have a part-time job and be able to make extra cash and quite a bit of it. So ask yourself, first of all, what skill levels do you have? If you don't have skill levels, let's talk about getting those. But right now, if you're willing to work weekends or you want to do something that's altogether different and challenging, I'm about to show you how to do that right now. If you're trying to make more money because you want just a new car, or maybe you want something more sophisticated, you want to build a future for yourself, well, it's always good to think about a side hustle that'll grow and become sophisticated and something you can do in the future. Now, I personally employ from 15 to 20 people, and I do that around the world. And they're actually all entrepreneurs of some type. Now, you can do the same kind of thing as they do. So I'll tell you a little bit about those people as I go along. But they're all entrepreneurs, and they all want to have a side hustle. Now, some of them are located in places like Singapore, which is out in the middle of the Pacific Ocean. Or they might be in the Philippines, or in Central America, Panama. I have many employees all over the world, some in Canada and the different provinces, and many here in the United States. And how do we do that? Well, we use Fiverr and we use Upwork, and we'll talk a little bit about that as I go here. All right, now the point that you need to understand is that this is a business that anybody can change and anybody can adapt to. Now, when you locate these people, you're going to locate them on sites that are very easy to learn how to use. So in this episode, what I'm covering is how to have a side hustle. In other words, a part-time job. Now, that's relatively easy because of the internet. All right, the internet gives us examples where we can use our telephone, we can use a computer, and we can create jobs all over the world. For example, I have people in the Canadian province of Ontario that do my transcriptions. So I create this video that we're doing now, and then to do it, I have to make a script. So I have the script typed in Ontario. I'll have someone else edit that video. I'll have someone else do that video with me as I'm doing right now. That can always be someone that's working part-time that has experience. So video editors are always in demand. It's part-time work. You can actually do it from home. You can do it from your home, and it doesn't matter where you live in the world. All right. For example, a script that becomes a video is also going to become a blog. So what is that? Well, a blog is nothing more than a written script that people want to read and learn what I'm saying. So you hear me now, so some people like to hear it, some people like to hear it and see it, and then there's other people that would like to just read it. So each of these things can be reused, and we can have part-time people doing that. So there's plenty of room for a side hustle. Which part do you want? Do you want to be an editor? Do you want to be a transcriptionist? Do you want to actually make the videos? There's just really dozens of jobs. So it's a lot more than just buying a new car. You can start a whole new career by just doing part-time jobs and help other people that are doing things. All right, now, this is safe, secure employment for the people that work in my office, but I don't know what your job is, but I'm going to tell you, keep that job. Think more about a side hustle until you decide to change it and grow. Now, if you're not qualified, you need to learn other things. All right, you're not going to be qualified for every job, but you certainly can learn how to do new things. If someone else learned it, you can learn it. Where are you going to go to learn it? Well, right here on YouTube, there's lots of ways to learn it, or you can hire a coach or another expert and have them help you out. Now, I'm a big fan of Fiverr and Upwork. Why? Because they have hundreds of people that are there that are willing to help you out. Now, do you have to test those people and see if they do it right? Well, of course, that's just normal. Not anything unusual about that. All right, now how about school teachers? What could they do? Well, school teachers work all day, but they all have specialties. They could be teaching and teaching at night. Now, I know people that are artists, and they're an artist. And how is an artist going to teach? Well, they could use Zoom, and they could teach another person how to be a better painter, how to be a better artist, and they could get a lot of money for it. So there's so many side hustles that you can do. It's just infinite. How about pet owners? Well, pet owners, some of them, they're working all day, but at night what they do is they go out and help people that they're traveling and someone needs to take care of their pet. So you're getting the idea. You can have any kind of business that you want. The point I'm making is you're going to have to give this just a little bit of thought. Now I'm going to show you one where I started as a part-time person. Now they call it a side hustle. Where I started part-time, I didn't know how to do tax, liens, and deeds. I was in another business. But a little bit at a time, as it grew, I grew it to a multi-million-dollar business that's already in other countries and all over across the United States. So the internet is filled with affiliate opportunities that you can do as a side hustle. So just kind of open up your mind. It's not unusual for talented people to coach other people. Now, if you can open your mind to other people coaching you and you're willing to pay for it, get all the free stuff you want on YouTube. But if you want to get to be an expert, you're probably going to have to go on Zoom, get a coach, and have one of those coaches really help you out. All right, now you don't have to work for minimum wages. That doesn't, if you got a minimum job, you're going to get minimum wages. If you want to get good wages, you're going to have to get to be a specialist. All right, so there's hundreds of these opportunities that are going to be available. What if an executive doesn't know how to do a certain part of his business? Maybe he can find a side hustle working with someone else from Upwork or Fiverr that has that same experience and a better experience and teach them how to do things. You're getting the idea. All right, so as I said, I started out 30 years ago as a side hustle, and I discovered this little-known business. So let me tell you a little bit about that business because it might just be something that you want to do. So I found out that counties, local counties in the United States, there's 3,000 of those counties, and they sell properties for 10 cents and 20 cents on the dollar, and they don't even charge any more than that because these properties have been tax defaulted and they want to get them back out into the market. Now, I didn't create the business. It's been around for 200 years, but I discovered it 30 years ago. Well, the county administers the business, they mandate the business, so it's safe and secure. I always tell people it's predictable, it's safe, and it's secure. You can learn how to do this as a side hustle. This could be a great way for you to make $25,000, $50,000, even $100,000 on one deal. Now, I have clients that do that now that I've taught how to do it. And so over the years, I went from a side hustle to a business of doing it to now I have 15 or 20 employees helping me do it worldwide. For example, a Wisconsin couple, Marcia and Sonny, they live in Wisconsin, yet they decided once they learned it, and they just did it part-time, to go over to Michigan and buy. Now, all they were trying to do was improve their retirement. They were already retired. They were senior citizens. They were getting a Social Security check. It wasn't enough money. They wanted more money. Well, when they discovered that they could make $10,000, $20,000, $25,000, even $50,000 on one deal, they just kept at it and kept learning. Now, the government in all of these counties has a big problem. What's the problem? They have tax defaulted properties. What are they going to do with them? They don't want the property. They already own the parks, they own the schools, they own the roads. They own too much now. So they don't want to own these properties. So they discount these properties 60%, 70%, 80%. You can learn how to buy those properties at those big discounts, and when you buy them, there's no mortgage on the property. So I didn't make the rules for all this. The state legislature made the rule. Legislature of every state mandates that people pay taxes. Now, you must pay property tax if you own a property. All right, now who enforces those rules? Well, it's the local treasurer. The treasurer not only levies the tax, they try to collect the tax. If they can't collect the tax, what do? They actually go out and confiscate that property, and then they sell it for 10 cents, 20 cents, 30 cents on the dollar with no mortgage. All right, so let's put this together. Here the county's discounting 60, 70, 80%. They're charging 10, 20 cents on the dollar. Think about the margin there. You're buying a property for, say, 30 cents on the dollar, and you can sell it for anything you want. So here's a huge margin in these properties. Now, are these going to be brand new, smell good, sparkling properties? Heck no. What these properties are going to be is they're going to be used and abused. So they're probably going to have to be cleaned up, and maybe some people paint them and even fix them up. I tell people, clean them up and sell them. Now, this is happening in 3,000 counties. There's over 3,000 counties across the United States. Anybody can learn how to do it. Best place in the world to learn how to do it is as a side hustle. All right, now this channel is loaded with videos from Ted Thomas that talk about tax liens, tax deeds, and the combination of those. So if you want to get involved, you can just look at other videos. But right below me is a special gift for you. I'm Ted Thomas.